Test. Test, test.
Test.
All right, yes, we have
Test.
audio. We have audio. Sweet. I'm going to pop out the chat. Welcome, Bow Betters. We got another illuminated beer because Illuminated Brewworks is just making incredible stuff. So is this ALEC and Bradley cigar. We're going to smoke this Natural Toro. Look at the natural leaf on that. I didn't make any notes on this one. I think that it is a Honduran Connecticut wrapper. Again, it sells for around like $10 or a little bit more. This is actually a very good ALEC and Bradley. I think I mentioned this before, or if I haven't, I picked it up when Benny's was just getting in some cigars, and so I sort of had them open the box for me, and I grabbed one of these, and fortunately it looks pretty good. The Junior Astronaut Juice, we've had the Astronaut Juice before. We've had a lot of stuff here from Illuminated Brewworks, and why we do that is because besides it being like super sensational, excellent beer, it's right by the house. So right on the way to work, on the way home from work, I can stop by and grab a 4-pack of these with the tip and everything. We're looking at like $16. I don't know if you guys get Illuminated Brewworks near you in other states, but if you do, you got to really, really get this beer. It is convenience for me, but I'm not here to drink like bullshit. I'm not going to go and just go to a place. Yes, I could go to the store and drink beer that you guys drink. I don't mind that at all, but I want to get something special every time I do the sip and smoke. I want to try not necessarily a unique cigar and a unique beer, but things that are indeed a little bit more special, little more rare, just harder to find, et cetera, et cetera. So that's what we're going to be drinking today, and we're going to be testing that out with this cigar. So what's up, everybody? No one's in the chat from what I can tell. Boom. So far. Bam. Oh, Brian's there. Brian showed up. Josh is at the house. He's awake, but he didn't show up. He was watching PFL. He didn't bet anything, but he was watching PFL on this. So welcome, Bow Betters. This guy was saying like I look like Ike Villanueva, the UFC fighter. I don't think I look like that fat dude that got his ass kicked and beat so often. But hey, it is what it is. So, Brian, what's your pick for the weekend? Do you have one? Are you betting at all this weekend? I don't think this is a horrible card from a I don't want to film that. I don't want to film that, guys. Hold on here. Technical difficulties. Flip that around. Boom. Yeah, I don't think that this is a horrible betting card from from a betting perspective. I don't think this card is bad at all. I don't think that any of the other ones are any worse. But let's see if we get this. Nunes KO. Oh, man. I hope we don't get the Nunes KO, man. I'm on Pena. I think that I was betting the Nunes KO last time. That really hurt me the last time out. So this time I'm not really interested. I think that it's one of those things like certain people just can't beat certain people, like Max Holloway. And in fact, we were going to talk about that earlier. People were talking about me showing tickets. Here's a $10 live bet on Max Holloway, another $10 live bet on him. So basically $20 at plus 460. I don't know why I did that. $64 here at plus 155. Another $50 here at plus 165. Here's another $20 at plus 205. And here's a $160 losing ticket of Israel Adesanya by finish at plus 135. Raj, these guys are making fun of me about all my losing tickets that I have around me and that I collect and that I should let them go, et cetera, et cetera. And I do indeed have multiple shoe boxes of both winning and losing tickets, but primarily they are correct. I can be made fun of. They are indeed primarily losing tickets because most people who do gamble and gamble as much as I do and about better, I place so many bets on an event most of my tickets are losers, but that doesn't matter. If I make 2 of the correct decisions in any event, it could either get me to even, it could get me slightly ahead, right? And it could cover all of my bets. Like last week, I mentioned it earlier before, I had the Mason Jones to be losing his bout against the kickboxer, and I had a plus 900 ticket by decision. I placed $30 on that, at plus 900, and I took the money line as dog money, big dog money at like plus 200 or something like that. You throw $30 on that, between $60, you're gonna make everything. So, ooh, Pantoja covering chalk, that's a lock. I think I'm gonna go back. I should have put more money on Pantoja. He is part of my round robins ticket here. Here's my round robins ticket. 3-pick round robins with Alejandro Pantoja, Ji Young Kim at plus 105, and Nikolai Negumereanu at plus 107. And on that ticket, Pantoja is minus 159. He is now minus 200, if not greater. I'm gonna stick with that bet. I like that bet. Let's see this. Oh wow, the ALEC and Bradley black market. Going to the cigar here. It had this like other wrapper, which I would prefer if it were more of a paper instead of or cloth, or a better kind of paper rather than this. Yes, I'm parlaying dogs. That's okay. Plus a plus 105 dog and a plus 107 or 110 dog. Not a problem. These ALEC and Bradley, it's very mild scented, not a lot of oils, but a fantastic natural color to it. Great gauge. You see it's a very thick cigar. It has very subtle scents, not a lot of spice here. I'm detecting, very just a soft. Again, this cigar really needs aging. One thing that I've been impressed with their cigars is that they're extremely well rolled. Like, they're well manufactured. They got some good people work for them. And the way this leaf looks, it just is so uniform. Good, high quality cigar that I could sit on. It's not really, these are not everyday smokes. I'm not going to smoke a $10 deck. So this was like an $11 cigar every day. Just isn't going to happen. It's a special occasion just for you guys. Again, with the Illuminated Brewworks Junior Astronaut juice, they're on this Astronaut cream. I think this is just not as hoppy as some of the other ones, but we're going to see that. We're going to light the cigar. We're going to chill out. I'm going to smoke the cigar, and we'll talk as long as we can smoke the cigar. We'll talk about anything you guys want. A little leatheriness to it on the first taste. I'm going to do the tea cut again. Even though I got my cigar cutter or my penis cutter here. If I want to really torture. I've always wanted to cut somebody's fingers off, or at least the tips of their fingers off with one of these. A lot of it's very earthy, no spice whatsoever. But that could change. We're going to see once we smoke it. It has just a lot of, not necessarily cedar, but a subtle cedar with a leatheriness to it. But it's not like a super leather. I don't mind that. It's just very earthy, and I love earthy cigars. And it's not on the nose. It's very mild. It's very, very, very soft. It's not like it's not that like that new leather smell. I should have washed my hands because I still smell like other crap. So we're gonna get to this cigar. We're gonna get to the beer too. We're going to do the tea cut, guys. Just a simple tea cut. I don't mind using this Exacto. And I get enough of a draw from it where I'm good. Nunez, man. Nunez. Fucking on Nunez. Already harassing me with the Nunez pick. I mean, I don't like the whole baby... the baby Reagan thing, I'm not against LBGT or women being it's just way too much time. If you're a fighter, a lot of these fighters with the kids, I think once they have kids, it really hurts them. I mean, And that's for a lot of people. I mean, even very wealthy people that are educated and are in the professional world, you know, the kids are sort of the end sort of period of their wage winning, their earnings, their career. They tend to have their kids, at least very successful people probably prefer to have their kids, not necessarily in their waning years, but just after their peak. And, but at that point, it's sort of downhill and it's going downhill from there. So, am I still alive, guys? I think I am. All right. So you got the Vinny's Wood matches. And always a cedar. Always a little cedar strip. And see, what I'm trying to do is keep it just above, like the peak of the flame isn't in the center. It's just going to go up and it cooks the end. Come on, wood. No. I love the smell of burning cedar. Yes, I don't mind parlaying dogs. A lot of people don't like parlaying dogs, but if dogs are just above plus money, they're barely plus money. Parlaying them gets you like good value. You get to that juice that you want. You know, I don't want to parlay like somebody and just get to like plus 230. You know, when I parlay you parlay a couple dogs, I want to get up there. Ooh, Troy Party Boy is talking about Kai Kara-France, man. Well, we saw that improved takedown defense against my boy. I had actually Askarov in that fight, and Kai Kara-France proved me wrong because his takedown defense, along with all the city kickboxing people, is improving. Like, all of them are getting better at takedown defense, not just Israel Adesanya, you name it. You know, Volkanovski's wrestling. Look at the way he's training his wrestling. They brought in good wrestlers to help their wrestling. Like, they're not idiots. They have money now too, and their coach Berryman is a smart dude. You know, he's ooh. You know, he's willing to take the back seat on certain areas. He knows that he's the kickboxing guy, right? And he is brought in like wrestling people to help out with the wrestling. So I think Moreno has a big grappling advantage, of course. And his boxing is really good. Well, Kai Kara-France has that power. He has a power. Sorry, I'm talking with the cigar in my mouth. This is already being lit poorly. Guys, sorry about that. Dad, what's up? When you start the cigar, you can blow on it like this to sort of try to get that even burn. You can do the same thing with the roach. Oh, I heard you're going to be with Blood Money. I wish I would could be there. I'm going to be at work. But back to Kai Kara-France. I think if he could keep this on the feet, he's going to be live for, you know, even though Moreno has a chin, Mexican chin, everyone's toughness, anyone can go down. And Kai Kara-France did have Moreno on his, he knocked Moreno down that first round. He stunned him. So it's not a gimme. Oh my God. Yeah, lots of leather, lots of leather. Now there's a lot more of this high, heavy cedar taste to it. As always, I need to sit on these. I don't have the humidor made yet. I'm going to redo the humidor. Yeah, this is a fantastic looking cigar. ALEC and Bradley is making fantastic smokes. Really, really good. And these guys are award-winning beer. Morales, he likes Kaikar Fonts, he likes Dakar, Pantoja, and Magomed. You mean Petrovich? Oh, Ankalaev, huh? I'm not on Sergey. I'm on just a little flyer on the Black Beast. I'm not convinced of Pavlovich yet. Close, I'm not even convinced of Close, man. I wanted to jump on, Rafa Garcia, but Rafa's just so inconsistent. I thought he was one-dimensional. I had Rafa last time by TKO, and he comes out and subs the guy. I didn't think he had any wrestling, and then here he goes. Because a lot of the Combate Americas guys, except for, a couple, there are some that like really prefer to grapple, like our boy, like in one of the main events. Moreno's jiu-jitsu is slept on. The guy, he submitted this Brazilian for the championship, right? So. Oh yes, this is going to be a very nice cigar. I love that for a naturale cigar, to have a hint of sweetness to it is amazing. Like I have to remember this one. I have to get more of these. This is a cigar that I'm going to want to sit on and age on and smoke like next year. Like just keep for a year in a humidor. Let it sort of develop its oils, and it's going to just get richer. It's going to get smoother. The sweetness is going to be there. I love when cigars have a natural sweetness to them. This isn't a Maduro, so it isn't like the mature cigar that stays on, it becomes more ripened over time. This is not an Oscuro. This is just a natural cigar. It's just this Honduran Connecticut. They've taken the Connecticut seed, and they're growing it in Honduras, and they're just doing such a good job of it now. Or is it Ecuadorian? I need to confirm that, but you guys can look. This is the ALEC and Bradley Black Market Esteli. Oh wow. I love cigars like this. This brings me back to what I love in cigars, when it has that slight, almost plantain taste, where it doesn't have any spice to it. There's a slight spice, but it isn't peppery, right? It isn't chocolatey. It has earth tones. It's slightly leathery, but it tastes like, in Puerto Rico or Mexico, we call them plátanos. It's a plantain. And cigars that have that plantain taste are my favorite by far, because it's sort of, some people might think it's dry. It's like a subtle sweetness. It doesn't have the same sweetness of a banana, even though it is a banana. It's a plantain. And I love cigars that have that plantain-like flavor. that's what this cigar has. And that is one of my favorite flavors in cigars. Has a full body, big gauge. Loving this thing. This thing is a keeper. I'm rating this already. We'll see how it goes, but I'm assuming this is going to be a 9 out of 10. This is for me sometimes as good as it could get. I know about Gary Payton. Gary, the great Supersonic. Yeah, so this is another hazy IPA from Illuminated Beer Works. We're going to have our first taste of this. Oh yeah, a little orange and lemon. More grapefruit. Oh my God, this is excellent. Another excellent beer, perfect pairing. Couldn't ask for anything better here. Life is good, guys. Life is good. Wow. Unfortunately, I can't like smoke the other kinds of things here, so we do the sip and smoke. I'm happy not to have been, to smoke the cigars now and smoke these things. Oh, thank you, Blood Money Bets. I hope work is going well. Stay safe there. Hit that boxing parlay. How do people feel about the Paul fight next week? I know Logan Paul is like a favorite by -200. I still like boxing to some extent, but the odds are just so bad. There's never any meat on the bone. Like you have to bet like the fighter, to win round 6 through 12 or something like that. Boxing is back. I always seem to have to like prop bet. And I do a lot of prop bets, period. I understand that. That's why I have a box of losing tickets, is because I prop bet and make, even parlay props, right? But in boxing, especially like Bellator and some of these other ones, you really have to be very selective of what you are betting. And I've gotten a little bit more like that. I mean, my biggest bet, this week is Jun Young Kim at +107. And yes, I parlayed as Brian mentioned earlier, I parlayed her with another dog. Wow. Yeah, lots. But this cigar is fire. A lot of earth tones, solid wood. Really, the leatheriness, again, it isn't so pronounced. It is really, and I love the hint of sweetness that it has. I love that so much. It's just something that it's hard. I wish I could describe it better. The best I could do is plantain. Like, go and have a plantain, guys. It's pretty simple. You could go to like any store. It's the bigger banana. There's the ripe plantain that's going to be a very sweet plantain. It tastes more like a banana. Or there's the greener one that you cut up, and that's what I'm talking about this one. This is more like the green plantain, where it has a hint of sweetness, but it's almost like a potato. It has like a potato, like an earthiness to it, and has a sweet finish to it. And that's what this cigar has. It's exactly that. It has an earthy start with that sweet finish that isn't like super pronounced sweetness. It's not sugary. It's not alcohol. It's not brandy. That's what I want in a cigar. Everybody has their own taste. I love natural cigars, but these you can get at Binny's. And what I suggest you do when you go to Binny's is sometimes look around, especially if you see like cigars that just came in, right? Like there's an invoice on top of some cigars, and the cigar, that's where I got this one. I just knew the brand. I didn't know anything about the cigar at all. It just came in, And I had the guy open, hey, can you open that up box up for me? Let me take a look at it. How much are those? Because I already knew that ALEC and Bradley, I had another ALEC and Bradley before, and I like this brand as a newer brand for myself. They make really good quality cigars, so I've never had these before. So it's good for me because I try something new. I don't have to be prejudiced. I already know sort of what I like in cigars, and I buy a lot of cigars that I already know how they taste. But wow. No, I've not had the brand the brand Acid cigar. I don't know if that's established a cigar. I'm just getting back into smoking cigars, which is cool, and I like getting back into them. Mm. But I like sticking to the more established. Oh, don't buy those Cubans in Mexico. Don't do it unless you go to like a Davidoff store or like the actual Cohiba store, like in Mexico City or in I think Cabo has or go to the duty free. Like a lot of times duty free will have Cubans at the duty free store. I would get them there as opposed to don't buy. Yeah, see, I don't like the sweet cigars, but don't buy those cigars off the street or off a vendor or in the store unless, you know, go to one of the established cigar shops that you've read about. That way you're not getting any counterfeit, because cigars back in the day, have some of the most, lot of counterfeits. And you could still put like a great wrapper on a shitty ass filler, right? So the inside isn't going to be very good, and vice versa. You could put like a crappy wrapper on some decent filler and have a shitty cigar. Alec and Bradley, I've just learned of this brand. They're making some really good shit. A lot of their stuff is Honduran, Ecuadorian, Mexican. A lot of the fillers are, they make great blends. Just like a wine, most cigars aren't just made out of one type of tobacco from one area. The better cigar companies source tobacco from various countries, and the way they blend them is more important. What they're choosing and how much quantity they're choosing, whether it's 20% Mexican, 15% Brazilian here, the Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, or just an American Connecticut shade wrapper over Mexican binder, and then Nicaraguan sort of center or filler or Mexican filler, and you blend that. Again, it's all varies. I don't have all the specs on this, but this is it's the Alec and Bradley ESTELI cigar. You could go and do the little research on it. Everyone's going to have like their tasting notes on it. Mine thus far are that this is a fantastic cigar, and I really like it a lot. Burning good. Mm. Smooth. I love when you get a natural cigar like this. Some people like the pepperiness. Some people want it to have that little spice, that little kick that will pinch your tongue a little bit. I don't. I like the slightly sweeter finish, and I love the full bodiness of cigars, and that's what this has. So that's why I like these natural cigars with a natural wrapper like this, and I also like Maduros. But this cigar right here, brothers, I'm going to go back to Benny's, and hopefully they still have some of these. These are about $11 a piece, which aren't a cheap cigar. They're not an everyday smoke, but this cigar, I sit on this for 1 year. I put this in the humidor for 1 year, and it's going to taste as good as any Cuban cigar that you're going to buy out there. And that's just my opinion. I've smoked Cuban before. I haven't smoked any Cubans of late, but I'm telling you, this cigar is extremely high quality, great texture, burning excellently, not burning hot at all, no pepperiness, super smooth, has a basic complexity to it, but not overwhelming in any sort of way. Very, very good cigar. Like, I love how it's not super leathery, it's not super earthy. Everything is just subtle, and that's what I look for in a cigar, for it to be soft, full-bodied, subtle in its flavors, and have a diversity, different on the draw than different ones in your mouth, and then when you exhale, it has a different flavor or finishing flavor as well. And I like that in my wines, and I like that in my beer. Mm. Wow. Mm. Wow. Yeah, see, when you get a lot of the smoke in, that leatheriness becomes more accentuated, and it takes away from the sweetness of it, which is okay. It still has that sweet finish, and it's very light, very light. Now, when I say sweet, you might not notice it. If I smoke it with you, you could be like, I don't taste that sweetness. It tastes like just smoke, and I just taste too much of the smoke. It has it though. It has this. It is what I like about this one is that when a natural cigar doesn't have the pepperiness, I don't mind certain. I prefer the non-peppery cigars. There are certain cigars that I expect to have that pepperiness, like a Joyo de Monterrey, a punch cigar, for example. Some Cubans have it, but this one doesn't. I love cigars that have more of that natural earthiness to it, but nothing that's so pronounced and overwhelming that it takes away from the overall enjoyment of the cigar. Mm. Excellent. So far, I'm going to give this a very high rating. And the beer, same thing. Everyone's making these hazy IPAs, and you can see the haziness to it. Everyone's making these, and this is no exception, but this one is really just, again, not as hoppy. It has less hops to it, so you taste a little bit more of that citrus in it. Has a slight sweetness to it, but the hoppiness is still there. That's why well balanced, right? We like well balanced flavors and products and beers. Loving it. Mm. Oh my God, so good. The plantain, man, so good. Another thing that I like is that it's soft on the nose. Like when I am exhaling and putting the smoke, it's not burning my nose, it's not burning my eyes. It really is just soft. And this cigar is going to be in my collection. I'm not going to buy a box of them, but it's like the type of cigar, if I splurged and bought a box of a cigar that I wanted to keep, so like when I go to a wedding or when someone says, okay, Roberto's coming with some cigars, and it isn't, and I don't have to bring Cubans. I could take the bands off of these, and everybody will smoke them and enjoy them. They will be like, oh man, it's the best cigar I had. You know what I mean? Like, and they won't even know it's a Cuban. Like some of you guys like with Mexican food, I love eating tongue. I like eating other parts of other meats that most people aren't used to. I could get you some tongue tacos that you wouldn't even know that it wasn't, carne asada. You'd be like, what is this? It tastes so good. It would just be so flavorful and so enjoyable that you wouldn't even think about it being tongue. And with cigars, it can be sort of the same thing. Like, it's not so overwhelming that I could give this to somebody that doesn't smoke a lot. Even if it's their first cigar, it's not going to get them sick. They're not going to be, oh, it's too strong for me. It's not light. I could give this to a cigar expert, and they're going to be like, dude, this is a great cigar. What cigar is this? Yeah, but this card, guys, I mean, this could be a dog card. I mean, where we're at with this card, I'm on a couple dogs. I stayed away from some. And I stayed away from some parlays because I just felt that the dogs I'm playing that I'm playing big. My biggest play is Ji Young Kim. I have over a full unit on her, and I also have her in a parlay with Nikolai Negumereanu, and I know at the weigh-ins I got scared. Iho Peteria looked like a monster. The guy looked just huge. He was, as Ron would say, he's thicker, bigger guy, scary highlight reel, but watching his style, I was not that impressed with him at all. I think it was mentioned earlier in Ron's stream that he is a master of sport. I'm just not impressed with his technique. He isn't super aggressive. He doesn't really move. He moves very well for a big guy, but he doesn't move well with a lot of intent. And I saw a guy that was a complete can put him down, like knock him down, and then the guy followed up after he knocked him down, followed Ihor to the ground, and Ihor got a triangle choke on him. But the guy wasn't like dangerous at all, like a horrible striker, and he tagged the guy. So I'm thinking Nikolai could possibly even finish Ihor Peterio, but I put him on. I have Nikolai now is minus 121. I hate always mentioning he's like, oh, I got him at plus 110, but I did. It's as a plus money bet. I'm not going to go tomorrow and double down any more money on Nikolai Negumereanu, but I'm going to possibly double down if Ji Young Kim is still even money or at plus 100. I'm going to double down more. I might go a little bit larger and be like 2 units on her. Oh my God, it's getting better. This is a damn good cigar. This is the ALEC and Bradley Black Market ESTELI or ESTELI Black Market cigar. Excellent natural cigar. Highly recommended. Really, really good cigar. Wow. Love it. Love this thing. This is everything I want in a cigar. I can't like express how much I enjoy this thing so much because I love naturalness. I love craftsmanship. I love balance. I love when multiple flavors. I love diversity of flavors, and you get that in this. I'm not trying to sound like I'm this whatever, but this is a very good cigar. My fading Jocelyn Edwards comes in her last bout. She did not look good against the other Asian woman who has absolutely no skills, like is not very good at all. And not only could Jocelyn Edwards not finish her, she almost lost that fight in the 3rd round. Edwards didn't like to be pressured. She did her kicking and staying away, sort of moving around, where Ji Young Kim is going to bring it to her. If you've seen Ji Young Kim fight, yeah, she got her ass kicked a lot, but look at who she's fought and gone the distance with. I think she's fought a better level of competition than Jocelyn Edwards. I think Jocelyn Edwards is more of a straight kickboxer with good boxing, good physical stature. She's overweight, which tends to mean possibly she's out of shape, not as prepared for this as she should be. And Ji Young Kim seems like the type of fighter that wants to be in the UFC. That they fed her to the wolves right away, right? Where Edwards got a chance against some lower level competition, and Ji Young Kim has been there. She's lost by decision against some better fighters than what Edwards has faced. And if we're looking at something that should be a 50-50, especially in a women's bout, I'm always gonna side with the dog money and take the dog money in that particular instance, unless Edwards. I mean, she's on sort of the come up. Edwards is not bad. I like Edwards. I mean, I do like her. I think I bet her by finish against her previous opponent because her previous opponent was just so bad. I'm not impressed with what's her name. I'm going to get her name here. Good looking woman, smart woman too, but Yeah, Ramona Pasquale. These guys were mentioning about like good-looking fighters or women fighters that are awesome. Like Ramona Pasquale is a good-looking woman. You can't fight for shit. And Ramona Pasquale even took her down once. I don't think Ji Yeon Kim is going to do that, but I think Ji Yeon Kim could possibly finish Edwards like late, and the props on Ji Yeon Kim finishing her late, like in round 2. Ji Yeon Kim round 2 is plus 1,700. Her in round 3 is plus 2,800. That's just if you take that round, her winning in that round. If you take her by TKO, which is a win condition, round 2 is plus 2,900. In round 3 is plus 4,500. So if anything, tomorrow I'm going to double down on Ji Yeon Kim on the money line. But rather than, and I'd like to just her by TKO. Ji Yeon Kim by TKO is plus 1050, right? So if I'm only going to bet like $20 or $30 on that TKO prop, plus 1050 isn't horrible, but I wouldn't mind like betting 15 on her to win via TKO in round 2 or round 3 and just get that juice, right? That plus 2,900 or that plus 4,500, split it between the two. And if it happens that one of those rounds, then I'm sitting pretty. I'm looking really good. Even that $15 bet, like even if that $15 bet in round 2, $15 will gross me $435 on a $15 bet at plus 2,900. I like that. So, or maybe 10 on each. You know, I already got a unit on her. I'll put another like $60 or a unit and a half already. $120, $130. Maybe then I'll also throw some more money on that, and then my whole night's gonna be on Ji Yeon Kim. Ooh, we got the band off there, and then bet her, you know, another $30, like 10 on the finish, 10 on round 2, or 10 on TKO or the finish. I'm sorry, TKO. 10 on the round 2 TKO and 10 on the or the round 3 TKO or something like that. And the cigar is having a little uneven burn, and that's more of me. I can tell that it's a good roll. When you see that uniformity in the ash, that's a good sign. That means these guys, these Alec and Bradley guys, they got good people that are working for them, rolling their cigars. Very good quality stuff. Quality workers, quality people. Mm. I cannot smoke any marijuana. I get randomly drug tested, and I don't smoke any marijuana anymore. I used to be a marijuana connoisseur. I could get very different strains on it. I could probably talk about it. I'd love to. A lot of times, the marijuana with the cigars isn't bad. What I would say about that is just like certain cognacs and armagnacs, they could dominate the flavor of the cigar. They change the cigar so much with the alcohol. And even the beer does to an extent. So it's important to pair the cigar with the right thing, right? If and even with weed is no problem. I grew up on that. I used to love smoking weed and smoking the cigars at the same time. It wouldn't be uncommon that we would pass around some really good high quality marijuana along with a cigar. But unfortunately, I can't do that anymore. I don't do that. So, I get it. It's awesome. But I stick to just the cigars and the beer. And if anything, I actually prefer rather than a hard alcohol, or like a cognac, armagnac, or brandy, I actually prefer wine with a cigar than alcohol based or a spirit based drink. The ash is going to be lost now because I put it down. I have to go grab me another one of these astronaut juices. Ooh, damn. Yeah, this cigar, Vicious Ferocity, this is a very good cigar, man. And ALEC and Bradley as a brand thus far, I've only had 3 of their cigars. I think they inherited the company from their father, and their family's been in the business of cigars, like the Partegas family, and there are other families that, the Arturo Fuente family. Just like wines, it's a family affair. If your family's been involved in it, and been doing it for a long time, they tend to have the better dirt, the better properties, and they also know a lot about the business. So I've been very impressed with this ALEC and Bradley. It's a new brand to myself, but they have made some really good stuff. Mm. Yeah, so if Kim falters, that's okay. Ooh, damn it. Oh, come on, baby. Oh no, I'm still streaming. On the main event, guys, if you're still there, Vicious Ferocity, my computer is cycling. So, Ferocity, can you hear me? Am I still casting, guys? The phone said I was still on, so hopefully I still am on. And I do lip and slobber on my cigars a little bit. That's a good thing because that way I don't have to share with anybody. I used to share cigars with people. I used to pass it to them and vice versa. All right, the video is still going. Well, I've lost it on my computer, but on the main event, I'm with Pena. I wish I got Pena at better money. I think she should be a bigger underdog. Even looking at how Nunez is prepared, you look at the caliber of a fighter that Nunez is, I really think that, I wish I got better dog money on Pena, but I threw just a flyer on it. I didn't go big. I just threw $40 on it. I'm hoping that my parlays, my dog bets come through and it could pay or at least compensate for some of the flyers that I threw out. I threw another flyer out on, I threw another flyer out on some other fighters like Derek Lewis. I threw a flyer out on Smith. So I got some dogs there that I need to compensate for, and hopefully I could do better with them. But all being said, it's going to be all on Ji Jun Kim. Just like last week, I was big on Aspinall and I lost. And I lost it all because I put everything that I did win, like on Klein Leduvit. That was Klein Leduvit that beat Mason Jones, and I won that. I'm a big Ankalaev fan. I've been winning money on Ankalaev for a while. Like, I beat him against, he's been a cow for me. I've been cashing his tickets for some time, but his last outing, and I get it that he was against Santos, who's like a big KO artist. Santos was eating up that leg, stopping the takedowns. Ankalaev barely won that fight. It was very inactive. And Smith, though, one thing that people sleep on Smith is that Smith, besides the experience, Smith has good movement. He's decent on the feet. People forget about his jiu-jitsu. So if it goes to, the mat, and especially if Smith can get up in a top position, I think Ankalaev is going to have a lot of problems. And I like that for that kind of money. Come on, like Smith now was at plus 460. I mean, I had to throw, I threw 40 bucks on him, just on the money line. Plus 420. $40. Nets me 188 bucks. I'll take that all day. And I'm just hoping that, and it might be another evening where I break even, or I lose 10 bucks, or I win 40 bucks after making these bets. But those were my main bets. My main bet for sure is Kim. 2 units to try to win 2 units. Nikolai Nigoranov, half unit to win a unit and a half, or just over that. I'm not going to put anything more, but I do have a parlay and a round robins with Nikolai Alejandro Pantoja, Nikolai Negumereanu, and Ji-Yoon Kim, right? So just the parlay of those 3 picks is plus 449. I put them in a round robins of just 20 bucks, the $20 Trixie. So I bet 80 bucks to win $297, right? Or I'm sorry, $80, yeah. Basically the Trixie is you have 3 2-pick two picks, right? So it's Alejandro with Nugaranov, Alexandre, with Ji-Yoon Kim, right? In a parlay, and then their 1 3-pick. So I'm going to, stick with that. That's one of my primary bets. Those are like 3 people that, what I did, and this is what I tend to do, is I got Pantoja at like minus 150, is I try to pair, and now Nikolai Negumereanu is minus 121. I got him at plus money. So I had 2 plus money fighters parlayed with a favorite that wasn't a great favorite, because I'm looking for juice. I'm looking for, not juice, but like meat. I'm looking for that meat, trying to make up some ground here. A little bit more of a risk, but I want that payout. I need that payout a little bit. I need some Pandora money. Here, I got my Pandora. If I win some Pandora money, the girl will be happy. Well, one thing, Vicious Ferocity, being sharp is smart. We want to win, right? Like, yes, I do have a box full of a lot of losing tickets, but I have a lot of winners there. And really my problem is that it's not that I don't pick the correct fighter. It's like, I have to pick a line. I have to bet. I'm betting against line. I'm betting against a number, or betting for a number, which could be worse, right? When you're trying to make ground up and you're just like, oh, like that very amateurish gambling, which I did in the beginning, is like, oh man, I can make this 8-leg parlay. And I remember when I first started gambling, I had like a bunch of parlay tickets in my hand, and I had these, like, that's all I bet was parlays. I didn't take anybody on the money line. I was putting dogs with dogs. I was parlaying, I had my lock parlay, my dog parlay, my combination parlay, and I would bet like 6-10 parlays, and with a bunch of other props. And I'd have, like, literally on an event like this, I'd have like 40 bets, 40 tickets on a main event. Was not unheard of before. Now, it seems like I have a lot of tickets, but a lot of these are repeats. I go back I go to the casino and or even at the time I'm there, I throw in $20 or throw in $100, and then I rebet the same people that I was gunning for in the beginning. So, like I said, I got Nikolai again, right? So, and this guy hit him for like 30, then I threw another 10, then another 20. Kim, 20. Kim, 40. Kim, 60. Right? Derek Lewis, $30. $30 on Derek Lewis. Pena, 35 bucks. Anthony Smith, 20. Anthony Smith, 20. And then my round robins. And there we go. That's my night. I'm already on some dogs. I picked the dogs that I had the most confidence in. I'm not feeling like Rafael Alves, even though I was big on, if Dober drops down to minus 150 tomorrow, I might throw a unit on Dober. I mean, I'd like to bet Dober round 2 or round 3. I like Drew Dober, man. Rafael Alves gasses quickly, doesn't go there, doesn't go long in a fight. He's dangerous round 1. He's a round 1 or die guy. And Dober is survive round 1 and he'll kill you round 2. And this isn't, this isn't Makhachev. This isn't some of these other fighters that he's faced. And what happened with McKinney? McKinney was dominating him, and seeing that comeback, and I was on McKinney. I think we were all on McKinney. Seeing Drew Dober come back was very impressive. And that stings, and it reminds me like, wow, don't bet against Drew Dober because the guy could take it. So I'm expecting Alves to like beat the living crap. And I wish I could live bet Dober after round 1 because Alves is going to put it on him. Dober is going to drop 2+ money. And that's the time to drop. If Dober survives that round 1, that's the time to pick him up. Pick him up at plus money after round 1. Right now he's minus 177. Guarantee you after round 1 he's going to be plus money. And that's the time to jump on him. Live bet Drew Dober after round 1 because Rafael Alves is going to lose round 2 and round 3 or be finished in round 2 or round 3. But Alves definitely has that round 1 upside to defeat him. That being said, Jin Yoon Kim, same thing, round 2 or 3 for her to finish, as I mentioned before. And same for Nikolai Negreanu. Like, the guy's a volume guy. He's got a wrestling upside that he hasn't used against this guy. Sure, yes, on the Ihor Pretoria, on the local circuit, it does have submissions, but he's not a submission guy. He's more of a striker, and he's not a great striker. Yeah, he beat this guy in Contender Series. It's a pretty good Polish fighter, but I'm not that impressed. He's got a great body. It scared the shit out of me when I saw the weigh-ins today, but I'm still with Nikolai Negreanu, but I'm not going to reinvest in him as much as I am going to lean on Ji Yoon Kim. It could fuck me, but where else are you going to go? Alex Morono against Smellitzberger, I'm not going to do that. Not going to go there. Anthony Smith, complete flyer. Alex Perez, good fighter, but Pantoja, I think, has him covered everywhere this fight goes. Alex Perez hasn't fought in 2 years, not willing to risk it. Kai Kara France, don't want to mess with Kai Kara France when he doesn't have any wrestling. He just has wrestling defense. I think Brandon Moreno has a strong jiu-jitsu as well as wrestling advantage against him if he decides to do that more this time, which I think he should do. And even search for Moreno via submission. That is a meaty prop right there. I'm not going to be on the Egyptian guy against Dante Mays. Don't want to bet that at all. Might go in and put more money on Derek Lewis now that he's at plus 123. Everybody's jumping on Sergey Pavlovich. I want to bet Rafa Garcia, but Joey doesn't want me to bet that. I'm almost feeling Rafa Garcia there. And Blood Diamond against Orion Kosi, even though Orion Kosi missed weight. Kosi has such a wrestling advantage over there that I don't want to lean anything on Blood Diamond. Yeah, Garcia's not I think he's a live dog. Mm. Again, well-burnt cigar. I love when the flame or the plume of the cigar, which is the smoke, comes out of the top. I like that more, that it's not burning so strong. Over here, it's like not so hot. It's not burning hot. We don't want our cigar to burn hot. That's why sometimes the cigar won't go out. You could, just like a joint, you could like smoke it, hit it, and it'll go back on. Yeah, Garcia surprised me. He gassed one time and burned me. I don't like his gas tank. He's coming in on short notice, which is a bad thing for him. But Drakkar Close is not like overwhelmingly good. He's not like a minus 235 favorite in this. I mean, yeah, Rafa Garcia is coming in on short notice. But to me, I think that Rafa Garcia is a younger fighter, has a little bit more diversity in his game. Yeah, not the cleanest fighter, but I think Rafa Garcia could take Drakkar Close. I think Drakkar Close has won some very good fights of late, but he's not overwhelming to me. He's not a finisher. I like this fight. It's either, I don't want to bet any of the props on it, but it's a dog or pass situation. I might hit Rafa Garcia. I'm still on the fence there. I think that a Kim for me is still my primary play. I just wish that more money came in on Drakkar Close, because if I see Rafa Garcia at plus 200 tomorrow, plus 220, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to hit it for sure for Garcia. Kim and Garcia. I already got a lot riding with Kim on the ball, man. Yeah, that parlay ends up as good as my my 3-pick. Rafa Garcia and Ji Young Kim will get you at plus 460. You know? Just a $30 play there will net you 138 bucks. And I'm looking at those. I know I'm chasing guys. I'm down for the year. I lost my gambling bank already in the Tom Aspinall bout. I went all in on Aspinall, bet all I had. I'm losing for the year. I'm down for the year. Need to make up ground. I get it. But, and I might be chasing. I admit that. I admit that I am chasing here. But I don't like that. Sure, you could go for that good, decent sure money. I get it. You could parlay. Let me clear the bet slip. Like Kosi. Don't want to bet your over yet. That's fine. Put him with Jin Young Kim. Put Dante Mays. I think Dante Mays has an upside there. Michael Morales. Pantoja. Brandon Moreno. You get the plus 1,000 with those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks right there. $20 will net you 210 bucks. And I don't like that as much, right? 6 picks. I don't do that anymore. I just think that it's, they're just better opportunities. I would stick with maybe even Ji Young Kim being my whole bet, right? Everything I have tomorrow just on Ji Young Kim. Wow. And again, the earthiness is there still not spicy, not super hot. I did ash it out a little bit there, but that's okay. Well, to Curtis's credit, man, he wants to have that. He wants to bring it back, and I don't think he should. I think that he should move on. And we'll see if he does. I hope that they don't rematch that. Tom Aspinall won't even rematch. I think Curtis Blades was asking for the wrong thing. He should have been on the mic asking for a championship, asking for a title shot. He should have been, Dana, I've been here this long. I want to fight the best. I am the best. Look what just happened. You know, he was so humble in not asking for a title shot. It was almost too humble. You know, I think Chris Curtis, you know, despite, I mean, not Curtis, but Chris Curtis is still good. But Curtis Blades is a top tier fighter. He deserves a championship bout. And I doubt that he gets it because they don't like his style and Dana doesn't like him. But I think Curtis Blades should get a title shot. He deserves it. Let's see what happens with the landscape of what's happening here. Again, he could be overlooked. He's going to be overlooked, right? If John Jones comes into play, if John Jones ends up beating Stipe or Stipe beats John Jones, they're going to catapult themselves up to the title fight. Curtis Blades is fucked because he didn't ask for that championship. So we might see the rematch again. We might see Curtis Blades with Aspinall again because Blades just was so weak on the mic to ask for a championship, but he should have. Who else on this card, guys? I don't know. I know Vicious Ferocity. I appreciate your participation in here. Who else? I mean, it's tough to see what else other people are interested in. I know what some of the cappers were leaning towards. I know some people were on the Alves side because of the value. And I think you missed out the boat on Alves. Alves was a bigger dog last week. Dober was up to minus 250 as early as Monday. He was still at minus 250. I think now I'm hoping that Dober, more money comes in on Alves, that I could bet Dober on straight on the money line at minus 150 or minus 135 in that area. Something that I could cover or even parlay him with, or still possibly parlay him. But I'm looking at that Dober round prop, but I'm getting too fancy, getting in the weeds. Don't always like to do that, and I do that. But last time, none of the rounds, I didn't play any of the rounds. I did play a couple of them in order to try to get some of that meat, try to get that good juice. But there, you know, in this particular card, only with Ji Yoon Kim do I really see an opportunity for some really big numbers that will justify me losing or putting some of what potential profit or even potential loss, because it's a close fight. Like, Ji Yoon Kim is not a lock by any means. You know, even Nikolai. I mean, I'm thinking Nikolai by finish. You know, like Nikolai by finish. He could TKO or sub the guy, but him, Nikolai by finish plus 215. I really wish that was a better number. I really wish it was a better number. You get a better number on Pretoria by finish, right? Again, the junior astronaut juice tonight, guys. Fucking awesome. I wish it was an early card that I could actually catch the beginning of the fight at the casino, do some live betting. What's good also about my picks is that all my picks are on the prelims. My main bets are on the prelims, with the exception of, you know, the Derek Lewis, Smith, Pena plays are minimal plays. They're just flyers. They're just like $30, $40. In fact, I didn't realize that I think I have like $50 on Smith at this point, because when Smith's number kept dropping, like he became a bigger dog, I was like, well, I bet him already $20 here. I might as well throw another $20 at, you know, at plus 440 or whatever, plus 420. I think I started at him when he was like plus 360, right? So he's at plus 420 now. I think that a flyer on Smith, $20, $30, just him on the money line. You know, not a lottery ticket, but a $30 bet will win you 126. And yeah, I might be giving some bad advice because I do have a box full or boxes full of losing tickets, but it's because I have that aggressiveness that I have, and I'm chasing. I admit it, guys. I know I'm chasing, but I'm not chasing fucking Adam Fugit, against Morales, right? I'm not chasing, yeah, Pena is a small bet, man. $30. It's not that big of a deal. I'm not super confident on her or Anthony Smith, but for the money, ironically, I had to throw more money on Anthony Smith because of the value than Pena. And that's just the way I bet. This is a gambling channel, and we're here to make money. We're not here just to break even. We're not here to just clear 1 unit or 2 units. At the end of the night, if I'm betting, thus far my bankroll is somewhere in the area of $400. I want to win or double my money up. I want to win $400 at least. That's the goal, is to at least double up. Is usually my goal, right? If I double up, great. And a lot of times, unless what happens the last time is that I was free at the event. I doubled down on Aspinall. I took all my winnings. I don't live bet. I only bet at the casino because I'm not able to live bet. I could through other people, I guess. I could probably still apply for it again. But I like doubling up what my bankroll is. I try to double my bank each time I'm out there. And most often than not, with the exception of Aspinall, I either break even, make a little bit of money, or double up, or that I accomplish that. So that's my goal. Other people have their strategies, and they're wanting to just win or here or there, pick, just nip and pick at their winnings. Especially the amount of volume in terms of volume of bets that I make. It's important to me still to try to double up, even though I make a lot of bets. Still very good cigar. Still good, guys. Another fight that I was eyeing is that the Semmelsberger Moreno fight. Morono is dog money, but Semmelsberger is one tough dude. I wish I would have called Semmelsberger. I think more money is coming in on Morono. I think Semmelsberger was a bigger favorite, or has that number has increased. I like Semmelsberger because Semmelsberger I think had a surgery. He's coming. He once was hurt, but I like Semmelsberger because of his aggressiveness. He is one of those dudes with no defense, likes to block with his face, just like Nikolai Negoravanu. He likes to block with his face, no defense. And Alex Morono is a gamer. And he's in his hometown in Texas, so. We ain't sipping now. We're gulping and smoking. Oh, lots of great food on this beer. Really nice beer, not so hoppy. So I could actually chug this beer because it's like it's not like super hoppy, right? If the beer is super hoppy, it's a big pale ale, little harder to guzzle. But I'm not having any problem with this one because it is the junior astronaut juice. So it's got the junior hops there. I don't think it's as hoppy as some of the other beers that are out there right now. I didn't even look at the alcohol content, but I'm enjoying this with people I trust. I trust you guys out there. I trust myself. Another bet that I'm looking at, Joey doesn't want me to bet it. One thing that I saw, and I fall for this shit all the time. Michael Morales was out there Like just like Patty, like saying, oh, he wants the TKO, he's gonna eat him alive, he's gonna knock his face in, he gets a submission. I bet the TKO. I didn't bet the sub. I didn't bet the finish, even though it was even money. I was getting plus 400 for the TKO in certain rounds, and I bet that, and it hurt me really bad because I put a whole unit on it. It just hurt me at the time because it took a little bit of the bank that I had for that event. I take a limited amount of cash. I don't go to the ATM. I'll take $400, $500 with me. Don't go to the ATM. If I lose it, I lose it. If I lose it in the beginning, that's fine. But I don't go to the ATM very rarely. And last 2 times I've lost it. So it just hurt that I bet I hate betting the winner, and I do that all the time. But I always bet the method and not actually the winner. One guy put it perfectly. He's like, he got the home run, but you bet the grand slam. Right? He got the finish, but you bet the grand slam. You bet the TKO, and I do that a lot. I'm definitely the kind of bettor that I'm betting the grand slam, and the guy hits a home run, right? So I'm wrong. A lot of people want to say like they're wrong. They want to admit that they're wrong. I heard this on Ronja's channel earlier, where people are calling out people on bets. With me, you don't have to worry about that. I'll show you my bets. I have tickets here. I have a lot of losing tickets, but I've a good portion of winning tickets. I do win some, and the ones that I win are pretty good. Yeah, if the twerker didn't engage in the grappling and tried to stay on the feet, and if Patty's jiu-jitsu wasn't that good, like, you got to give credit to Patty's jiu-jitsu, right? If it wasn't that good, he would have got that TKO. But this guy put himself in vulnerable positions where Patty was able to transition and capitalize on them and get that submission, right? I was very impressed with it. Like, does it say something about Jordan Wright's, I mean, not Jordan Wright's, but his lack of, like, if he's not on top, he can't win. Certain jiu-jitsu guys. But you look at like what Patty did, he was in a vulnerable position, he was taken down, and then he got reversals to get to that submission. That says a lot. He doesn't have to fight the best jiu-jitsu guys, and you could see that even if he fought like good jiu-jitsu guys, he's going to get out of those vulnerable positions and either reverse it or get back up. I was hoping he just got back up. Right? Like, but Patty didn't want to get back up. He was like, okay, this guy wants to roll. We'll roll. We'll roll. He likes to roll. You ever see that video? The guy, the African jiu-jitsu guy, like he's a teacher in New York that got exposed by like a jiu-jitsu guy who came in the studio. And he's like, I do not roll. I don't roll. Patty likes to roll. I was against Jerry on that, and I even live bet the old man because I was getting like good props. Oh, back to Morales. Why I mentioned like, oh, I get trapped for well, I had Glover just on the money line, right? I'm taking Glover as the champion. When they give me plus money with Glover, I'm going to take Glover. Like, I just had to. I missed out on other Glover positions. He is so improved in his grappling. It was still there. He was doing so well against Jerry. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. But like, okay, back to this Morales, the Morales submission line, plus 525, guys. I'm not there yet, but when I saw him put out that photo of whoever it was, whether it was a guy in a gi, I was like, man, the guy is like trying to give respect to his jiu-jitsu and giving a signal like, hey, if this guy wants to come and wrestle, I'm going to submit this guy. And Fugit, like, has been submitted before very quickly, right? Very easily by multiple people. And Morales is a talent and a good, you could say whatever you want about Central American wrestling. Um, there are levels to this. There are levels, guys. Fuga is not on. He's short notice. He's not on the level. Like Morales by finish is like minus 186. Like I can't cover that. I can't do that. So you have to either go Morales by TKO is minus 124 or by that submission at plus 525. What am I going to put $50 on? $40 on? The finish or the finish line would be the wise thing, but Vegas knows this. They're forcing you to a corner. They love pegging you. They're making a lot of money off me, and I get it. But I'm liking that Morales by submission line. Guys, I'm going to get another beer. 1 second here, all right, guys? Loving this junior astronaut juice. Vicious Ferocity is saying, try playing their odds and only going off bet with a few. Start here and you find the spot of profit. Yeah, I'd agree with you, man. A lot of people say this about me, Vicious Ferocity, that I parlay dogs. I bet too many props. I get it, bro. I understand it. But it's one of those things, man, where I'm chasing. I'm always chasing. Like the guy mentioned it perfectly last week when I was at the casinos, that you are like I said, I'm betting the grand slam, but the guy gets the home run. And that happens to me all the time, right? But usually I get a good line where I'm happy with it, so that the juice is worth the squeeze, that the return on the investment, even if it's $20 or $40, the return on the investment is significant. I'm doubling or tripling my investment. And that's what I tend to do, right? And that's a problem. I get it. I need to be a little bit more conservative, do the long sort of strategy and long play. But I like that fast money, and I like the big payout. I need a decent payout. My buddy is doing better than I am. Ooh. Yeah, I'm not right now in the gambling. In the gambling sphere, I'm not doing great. In the pick sphere of like winning picks, sure, doing fine. I need to find, as you mentioned, find a good spot between both. And you're correct. You're correct. I need to do a better job of that. I need better bank management. I definitely am still spreading myself thin, guys. I'm still doing far less bets than I used to. I mean, literally used to, on a main event like this or a pay-per-view, I used to have like literally 40 bets going. Bet every fight, some method, some way. Same with last week. I didn't do that. I'm still less than that. But what's happening is on certain bets, like I mentioned earlier, I had Max Holloway one weekend, big bet, one of my biggest bets of the year. Max Holloway, which is a loser. Aspinall, max bet for me, loser. This week, I'm not quite there with Ji Yoon Kim as a max bet yet. Like, we're not doing like $400, $500 on her, or $300. But I think tomorrow, if it's still at plus 100, I might throw another 100 on it, and might throw another $30 on those TKO props that I was mentioning to you guys, and then just leave it at that. My night will be on her, and if I lose it, I lose it. But it would be the third event where I've lost my bankroll, right? third event within 4 events or 5 events, because I broke even, made $40 here and there, made $50 here. So I've made a little bit here, but it might be time to take a little break. The Bout Better me may just become the sip and smoker, and I won't have as many losing tickets. We'll just like be smoking cigars, drinking beers, talking about gambling and the fights, but it won't be about actually me, what bets I have, right? Because I won't have any bets. I would just say, hey, well, if I bet, which a lot of guys don't do, right? I know that there are a lot of these cappers, and there was a discussion of this earlier, that people that say they do something that they don't do. That's not me. That's not me in life. That's not me in gambling. That's not me at work. That's not me in my personal life. What you see is what you get, and you're going to get hardworking, hardgoing, grinding kind of person, grinding kind of gambler, and that's the difference. But, well, besides the smoking and drinking, but with me and other people. Other people do this for show, for entertainment. I do both. I love being here with you guys. Love telling you about these cigars. Love smoking here. But at the end of the day, I still need some money, and I can't start losing or continue to losing this money that I really can't afford. I'm not this rich guy that, even though I look pretty good, that can afford to be losing all these bets. I actually need to start winning again, but winning not just small, but big. Oh my God, that's so good. Hello, just joined the chat. What's up, hello? Where are you guys hailing from, Vicious Ferocity? Hello, where you guys are from? Well, I'm in the Midwest. That's where you'll get this Illuminated Brew Works. You'll find them in the Midwest. You'll find them in Chicago. The cigars you'll find at any Binny's. ALEC and Bradley you probably could find nationwide, probably worldwide, of course. Harder to find the beers. And again, I apologize. I get this. I get the Illuminated Brew Works because it is on my way home, and I just don't want to just drink normal bullshit. I want to get something that's special, that's a little different. They had a lot of this at the brewery. You walk in there, they got like 4-packs. Okay, so we got New Yorkers. Yeah, I like New York. New York's got great beer, and some of the best cigars in the world. Like cigar shops in New York, ooh, New York City probably has some of the best cigar shops in the world. If not, some of, as far as non-Cuban and even Cuban cigars, New York, you could probably find some of the best cigars in New York, without a doubt. You got the market for it. And again, on the finish of this cigar, we're close. We're not even near the finish. I'll smoke this to a nub. This thing is still burning great. It's still not peppery. The sweetness is, just fantastic. It's actually, the oils are there. It is actually better flavor now, more rich, more pronounced than it was earlier. And that's another good thing I like about cigars. And you see that it's still not uneven, right? This cigar is now a 9.5 out of 10. It's getting up there. And I'm assuming by the finish, I'm going to give this cigar almost a 10. I can tell already. Like no pepperiness. The leatheriness is still there. The earthiness is still there. Yes. It's an ALEC and Bradley yellow. Yes, very good. But this one is the Black Market ESTELI. I don't know what an ESTELI means, but I'm going to learn it. I don't go and pre-note everything. I don't go and look what other people say about a cigar or a beer. I do everything raw here. As I'm tasting it, as I'm talking to you about it, it's my first impression. It's my raw impression of everything. There's no padding. There's no fabrication here about my gambling, about my picks. It's the same for the cigars and the beer. It goes all the way around, life-wise, everything about it, whatever. Same thing. And the thing about what makes this cigar why it got those extra 5 points from a 9 to a 9.5 is at this point you would think it would be burning really hot. I wouldn't be able to hold it this way, but the quality of the tobacco, the evenness of the burn doesn't make it hot. It's not burning hot because the balance in the cigar is so good. The quality of the filler and the wrapper is so good that it's burning evenly. It's retaining, it's preventing it from burning too hot. The flavors are just getting better. They're not getting like, a lot of times when the cigar gets super hot, it'd be overwhelming, be too much oil. Vicious Ferocity was saying it probably means something with the stars because of Steli. Maybe. They're very interesting with their names over there, and that's great. They have some interesting packaging, and I get it. Marketing is important on all these cigars, but what it always comes down to, you get a shitty labeled cigar, shitty labeled wine. I don't think the labels on the beer are pretty shitty. These are fucking awesome labels on the beer here. Like, some people might like, I can't say that about Voodoo Ranger, and even a lot of these beers, they match, the quality matches what the label is. Like, you don't see that too often, but you could see that in cigars. Like, they might make a cigar that has a fancy ass label, a fancy box, and a shitty cigar. Like the quality of the tobacco has to be what's more important than the presentation in cigars. Same with wine. You could have a great bottle of wine. Well, El Illo, these are like $11. I think this is like $10.85, $11 for this cigar. And $11 is not an everyday smoke, but you don't have to buy the $20 cigar, $30 cigar, $50 cigar to get that quality. Like, I would bet this cigar, and I'm gonna buy a bunch of these. I'm gonna get some. I'm gonna smoke some. I have a lot of expensive cigars in my collection here, some unique cigars, but I want to get. I'll smoke one of those higher end $30 cigars and tell you how much different it is than this cigar. But I'm going to tell you one thing, that this cigar, for what it is, this $11 cigar, if you sit on it, you put it in a humidor, you age it, you put it to the side for like a year or two, this cigar is going to match some of those high-end vintage special blend cigars. This is really a good value on that $11. Like, back in the cigar days, like when I used to sell cigars to people, like, I could take the bands off of this, and I'm telling you, I could sell this as a Cuban, sell it to someone because it's so good that they wouldn't know, and I could sell it to them for a $10 cigar for like $30 or even more, and they would buy it. I could lie to them and say it was a Cuban. I could put Cuban bands on it, right? And they would assume it would be like, oh my God, it was so good, it was so smooth, and I could counterfeit it. I could do that. I wouldn't do that. I never have done that. But this is the caliber of cigar where it matches cigars that are far, far better. That's why this cigar is getting a 9.5. I don't throw out high ratings sparingly. Like, I just don't like say, oh, this is good. No, this is an exceptional cigar. I've been smoking cigars I stopped smoking cigars for a long time. I used to sell cigars. I used to work for Alfred Dunhill of London. I've worked in the humidor. I've sold Cuban cigars previously in my life for a living. I made a lot of money selling cigars. Whatever, you want to consider me a cigar expert, no problem. I don't care. Novice or phony, whatever, I don't care. It won't matter to me. Doesn't affect me at all. I know cigars. I know tobacco. I know cigars. This is truly, truly one of the best. This is the best cigar I've had on Sip and Smokes thus far, and they've all been in that $10 range, but this is the best of the lot so far. Although I've had some of the unique, I've smoked some vintage cigars that I've had for a long time that this compares to. This is something that you could buy, sit on it, you could bring to special occasions, you could give to a cigar connoisseur, and they're not going to think you're an idiot. You could say, hey, this is one of my best cigars right here, and they're going to smoke it, and you don't even have to show them the band at all, you know. No, it was only $11. Hello, that's why I'm going to go back and buy not a box of these, but I'm going to buy a bunch of them, buy a handful of them, and sit on them. I'd like to buy the box. I think I should buy a box. Soon I might be back at box level, right? And then, but I think when I was at box level, I was reselling cigars, right? Like I've met the guy that does this with cognacs and tequilas. Like I met this one guy. He used to buy tequilas, like inexpensive tequilas. He'd put those tequilas in various casks. Like he'd put them in a whiskey cask, a brandy cask, and he would change what the tequila tasted like. And he would age them. He'd put them into bottles and then sell them to people he knew that would pay, you know, just for that. He would buy a fucking $20, you know, not $20, but, you know, $50 bottle of tequila and sell 1/3 of that bottle for $100. You know what I mean? Like he would make and I used to do that too with my cigars. I used to sit on them and age on them, and I'd be like, well, this is a 2-year-old Hoyo de Monterrey, or this is a 2-year-old Gloria de Cubana, right? That's already 2 years old, right? So I would date it. I would have official. I'd have a receipt on it, and I would sell it for 3 times the price of what I paid for it, right? So this $11 cigar, I would at least charge somebody $22, $25, $30 for. The Cubans would be like $50. And that's my point, Elo. This is smoking better than those $50 cigars. It's an $11 cigar that's smoking as good as some of those higher end $30 cigars, right? And if you can find them that are even cheaper, which is hard to do, you know, I think in that. No, but not necessarily. I used to love, like Hoyo de Monterrey used to be one of my favorite. Those Maduros I used to get for like $3. I used to buy a box of those, sit on them for like 2 years. They tasted better than most Cubans. Man, that's the market. Like a bottle of wine. Like you start a bottle of wine. One decent bottle of wine, you put it, you put it in, you save it, and you're like, oh, this is a Joel Gott bottle of $10 Cabernet that I've sat on for like 2 years or whatever it is, a Bull U or something else like that. Hello, this has basically become the Sip and Smoke channel. Like you haven't mentioned, Elo hasn't mentioned, nobody's mentioned other fights or things on this card. But you know, I'll talk about MMA, but I love the cigars and I love the beer as much, and I'm as like how knowledgeable do we have to be about cigars and beer, or even MMA? Everybody's like. All these guys will talk hours about this, mentioning this guy. You look at the fight night picks. I love the Canadian kids. About like a fight that I spent 5 minutes on. And I covered everything they did in 5 minutes. They'll spend like 20 minutes covering it. I don't need that. I don't have the audience for it. We're not that type of channel. There's no frills here. There's no padding. There's no smoke and mirrors here. This is Sip and Smoke. This is really just about like what I enjoy, and I hope that you guys could enjoy in terms of a beer and a cigar. And as far as bets, same thing. Like Vicious Ferocity was over here agreeing with certain things, and I would hope that he would disagree with me on certain things. You guys could disagree with me on picks, and that helps too, right? We're on different things. I I'm fortunate that I have a knowledge base now, or I have not been doing my normal research and my normal production, both on my fight analysis, but we don't always have to. We just see what our good bets are, just like our good cigars. We're making quality bets here. Quality bets, quality cigars, quality beer. Other people have a formula. They want to go A, B, and C. We're going to talk about the fights. We're going to run down the card. They're tell you about the fights, tell you about the records, and I do that too. I like this format. I like being freewheeling, free balling, shooting from the hip, just discussing these things with you guys, and enjoying it. Like, this is more fun. I find this more fun. It's also easier. I don't have to do all the technical back work. There is some research in what I'm doing, but I've been doing less research because I know more about the fighters now. Like, there are very few fighters that I don't know about, and you could look into Adam Fugit very easily, right, against Morales, right? You could go on YouTube, go on to dog fights, wherever you get to find these fights. Ji Yoon Kim, we've seen those fights. Drew Dober, Rafael Alves. We saw Rafael Alves from the beginning of the Contender Series. Ryan Cosi, we saw him from the beginning of the Contender Series. We've seen Mike Matayo, who shouldn't be in the UFC, who was not on those things, right? Blood Diamond, right? We know how these guys fight. Rafa Garcia, we've seen him fight. Drakkar Klose has been in the UFC for years. Derek Lewis, how long? Man, 25 fights in UFC against Sergey Pavlovich. He's got like 4. We already know what's going to happen there. Dante Mays and Hamde Adelawab. I want to stay away from this fight. Don't trust it. That's a fight where I would need to do more research, right? Morono Schmellisberger, we already know those fights. I did the research on Ihor Pretoria. Nikolai, do we need to do any research on Magomed Ankalaev and Anthony Smith? Do we need to analyze all their fights and then try to come to a decision between both of them? Most people that gamble in MMA should already know what these guys bring to the table. Like, just I was saying, a bet, for example, like you guys are here right now. I have a surfing bet here, right? I have a surfing bet on Felipe Toledo to win. He was plus 250 a couple months ago. He's still at minus 112 with one event left. He's in the lead. He could possibly lose to Jack Robinson at Huntington Beach, but I doubt it. Like, he does good Felipe Toledo is incredible in small waves, especially small, mushy, like Huntington Beach type waves. One event, he's at minus 112. Here it is with it, guys. I'll let you guys know. If I win anything here, I'm going to flip that profit, and I'm going to put it on Felipe Toledo to win the WSL Championship, the World Surfing League Championship, the men's division, at minus 112 is what they're offering right now to win, and I'm going to flip it. I already know I'm going to flip it. Pantoja is the anchor of my parlay, but I put him with Nigel and Ji Yoon Kim, right? I put them in a Trixie, in a round robins, right? We know what Pantoja brings. We've seen Alex Perez. We know what Brandon Moreno brings. We know what Kai Kara-France is. We don't have to watch that, We could watch those bouts again and we could discuss them, but they have very little. We already know what their tendencies are. We already know what their best methods are, their best techniques are. We're not going to see a lot of differences. Like, even with Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena. Like, it's going to be a different fight, but we know that Juliana Pena is a grinder. And we know that Amanda Nunes doesn't like to go past 2 rounds, right? Like, she doesn't do well if the fight goes on. If it goes forth into the future or into the latter rounds, we already know all this stuff. So some of the research, and these guys embellish a lot. Like, I may have embellished on this cigar and the beer a little bit, but it's a little different when you're talking about cigars and beer, which are static things, and you're talking about fighting, because fighting is not static. Fighters change. Like, didn't Rafa Garcia get a submission last time? I'm pretty certain he did. Let's go look. I'm pretty certain Rafa Garcia got a submission, and I bet him by TKO. Again, I bet the Grand Slam, and he got the TKO. I mean, he got the home run. You know, it surprised me. What we do there is then, like, we're betting numbers. We need to look at what holes, just like in the Ji Yoon Kim. Jocelyn Edwards has never been KO'd before. She's never been finished. But Ji Yoon Kim is a finisher. She's going to come forward, and Edwards doesn't like people that come forward, people that are aggressive on her, right? So the upside of her finishing is so good in terms of what they offer you. Like, her by finish, like, we see those lines, her by finish, Ji Yoon Kim by finish, plus 600. Like, that's a good-ass line, guys. Like, you're not going to see a good finish line on this card except for that line. Everybody else will finish, unless they're a dog, a big dog. She's only a plus 100 dog, and she's getting plus 600 to finish. And I know women's MMA, you don't see a lot of finish, and Kim hasn't finished anybody in a long time. But you see those variances, just like last week with Klein Leduvit to win by decision, plus 900, hit it, right? It just resonates with me. Like, when you see the variance, like, whoa, what should happen here? And I think that her bout has the best meat on it. There's the best meat on the bone there. The best, I'll win and lose on that all day. Like, we're not in here to gamble just to win. Right? We need to win and win big. Go big or go home. Making sense doesn't, we got to make some dollars out of sense. Like, what can we get out of our few dollars and our few little pennies? We could try to, I'm not trying to justify my bets, guys. Like, I'm not here to justify and try to convince you guys of something that I'm not doing because I'm doing it. I'm not trying to convince you to do it, right? But, that's the way we're going to bet this week. I mean, I bet with Aspinall last week. Man, it hurt. But that's gambling, right? Like, if Aspinall wins, I'd be on double up, right? I make a big profit. I make a big profit, not just double up, but make a bigger profit. And I wouldn't be reestablishing my bankroll this week, which is not cool. So it is what it is. I'm sorry about the typo in the astronaut. Damn it. I'm not the best speller. I never won a spelling bee. Well, for LO as well as for Vicious Ferocity, when the cigar companies and or beer companies send me a cease and desist, then I know that I've come places. You know, like I'm at. I know I've gotten attention. I have a job. My head's still cut off, guys. But I do have a day job. Oh, Jack Attack. Jack Attack, you're making me hungry. I see Jack Attack right away and I think of food. Like, because what else goes better with a cigar and some beer? Good food. And I know that Jack Attack, although he's in England, England has very good food. Just don't think that Gordon Ramsay's just an asshole. They have good food. If I go to London, I know I'm going to get some good food. And I'm going to London someday. I'm going to be there. But what's up, Jack Attack? I haven't seen you in the chat very much anywhere at all, man. I hope you're doing well. Guys, I do this, I get it, and I appreciate your input. I do this for you guys. I do this for the kids. Wu-Tang's for the kids. Bob Better's here for you guys. Bob Better's here to... Man, it's just enjoyable having even you guys in the chat right now. Is like really, really cool. That's why I do this shit. Is this to... If you out there and... You know, hey, I'm going to maybe make your own content, but just, oh, I'm going to have that cigar, or you mention it, like, you bring this cigar, this ALEC and Bradley ESTELI, to some place, and you're like, oh, this one dude who's got a YouTube channel was talking about it. I mean, I'm happy with that kind of shit. You know, like, that's cool. You know, I don't need to have the big views. Everybody, like my friend, I was telling him, oh, I'm going to go live, and he was like, oh, well, what, one viewer? And that's okay. Like, if you guys weren't here and I was still live, people still might see it. And if they don't, like, I've never anticipated being a huge channel, being anything big. Not here for that. You know, like, we're here to have fun and enjoy ourselves. You know? We're just here to have a good time. Get some good information, hopefully, about like, what we enjoy. Because we definitely enjoy MMA and we enjoy our beer. You know, you guys enjoy your weed. Like, I wish I could do weed reviews. I would do weed reviews, too, if I were back in the, you know. But I can't do that right now. Sure, it'd be cool, but don't do it. I don't smoke weed anymore. I get randomly drug tested, and if they want to drug test me tomorrow, I know I'm going to pass. I'll laugh at them. Yeah, Elo, just because it's legal doesn't mean that every job follows that policy or anything else, right? We got to think about, even if it's legal everywhere, like, it's still going to be against company policy to do drugs. Like, they can make heroin legal, cocaine legal, and it's still going to be tested, and you're going to still have problems, right? Like, where I work at, marijuana is unaccepted. I'm not going to say anything more about that in terms of... I work around a lot of expensive shit, and I could, which is, I don't even want to get into that. I work around expensive shit despite other people not having the respect and abilities that I do. I just don't recommend doing drugs around heavy machinery when other people could get hurt. You know, I don't even the weed. You know, like I do a lot of things that are dangerous. Back in the day, smoking weed, I used to snowboard big time, surf crazy waves, be in big mountains, and smoke weed. And I'm not gonna say it hurt me, but I just don't want to. Elo's saying, of course not. He doesn't even drink coffee around certain machinery. Yeah, man, I don't drink around any machinery at all. You know, like you know, people where I work at, I hate the fact that there are these people that just don't have the skill level, the respect level, nor the awareness that my life, my life, they could hurt me. My life is dependent on them, and they don't see that. They don't see that at all. They don't see that at all. It angers me to no end. But that's the reality of working in big corporations or a big environment. Where I work at, I don't have the ability to pick and choose who I work around with. So I'm dependent on a lot of other people, and I'm not at the level yet right now where I can improve that level, right? But I'm going to change that. No, with Jack Attacks in England, well, if I were in England, what I would do, yeah, happy birthday in advance, Jack Attack. I would probably have like a nice Monte Cristo cigar, like a Monte Cristo Torpedo, Cuban Torpedo Jack Attack. You know, you can't go wrong with that. A Cuban Partagas or a Cuban Davidoff is probably what you should have. What I would do, Jack Attack, is I would buy like because you haven't had a cigar in a while, I'd buy like a Davidoff Tubo, which I've been eyeing for a while. I have one of them. A Davidoff Tubo, Cuban or non-Cuban, and or even what I used to enjoy is because I worked for Alfred Dunhill, just an Alfred Dunhill American Tubo, like their Tubo. It's a white Tubo Alfred Dunhill, Connecticut shade mild cigar. You could enjoy that. That'd be no problem. You should do something like that. Yeah, Davidoff, great cigars. Jack Attack, don't buy it off the website. Go to your, I don't know what part of England you are in it, but I'm certain there's a cigar shop near you. Go to the cigar shop. Go to the cigar shop and, hey, most cigar shops will always try to lead you towards something. What would you smoke? What would you do this or that? In London or in England, Jack Attack, you also, another place that has some of the best cigars in the world, London, England. You go to London, you go to a cigar shop, you walk into a Alfred Dunhill cigar shop or a Davidoff cigar shop, you buy a Davidoff cigar, they'll have other cigars there. You're not going to get a bad cigar. It's like when you walk into a fine restaurant, and I know that the waiter is going to say like, oh, what you know, like what would you recommend? They'll say, oh, I recommend everything, which is fine. I agree with that, right? If you go to a fine restaurant, nothing is bad there. You know, you have to find what the chef is, what they like, what the chef likes cooking. Is the chef more of a meat specialist? Are they a chicken person? Do they cook steak better there? You know, what is it that they do better? Joey's finally showed up, and Zach Johnson here. What's up, guys? We're almost done here. We're almost done with our cigars. We're almost done with the specialty beer, and we're smoking this all the way down because this is it's still a 9.5. It messed up there towards the end, but that's my fault. I think this is close to a 10 for a cigar. Mm. See at the nub? When we're at the nub here, even though it isn't an even burn, what's good about this is I still taste the plantain. It still has a little bit of sweetness. The oils are there, but they're not overwhelming, right? So this cigar is, I want to give it a 10, but we're not there yet, the 10. This is 10 potential. This is the best $10 cigar, I think, or $11 cigar I think you could buy out there in the market anywhere in the world right now. So in my opinion. Ooh, and I love that too. When you get that second kick, when the oils still remain on your tongue and your palate, and you could taste the sweetness, you still can taste the leatheriness and the earthiness of the cigar, but it's not super pronounced. It's not overwhelming. There's no pepperiness to it. It's not a strong cigar. Somebody could be like, oh, it's dark, it's a strong cigar. This is not a strong cigar. Some people like that pepperiness, like a punch has that. Joyo de Monterrey Cubans have that. Certain Cuban cigars will have that. But again, going back to Jag Attack, go to your local tobacco shop. Don't worry about the expense. If it's your birthday, buy anything from 10 to 20 bucks, or like, it's pounds. So anything from 5 pounds to 10 pounds, just buy it. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to have a good cigar. Ask what you want. Ask what you want. Do you want something mild? Say, hey, I want something mild. I want something soft. I want something full-bodied. I want a little, I want like a little sweetness on the end of it. I don't want something that's been treated. I want it all natural cigar. And especially in England, because you guys are such traditionalists, you're not going to get the bullshit. Maybe you guys get the bullshit we have. We have a lot of bullshit here because the cigar shops are not run by traditional tobacconists or people, right? I still consider myself a Jag Attack. I still consider myself a tobacconist because I used to mix pipe tobacco, right? So I used to have to and I had Roberto's mix. I had my own mix that I had customers that were like, Roberto, because I used to smoke a pipe. What do you recommend? I'm like, well, I make my own blend. Well, they would say, well, send me your blend. And I would put it on there. I'd blend a little Cavendish. I'd blend a little the other butterscotchy sweeter texture, and then I would send that off, and people were like, "Oh man, that's awesome." Yeah. Well, here one Jag Attack with it. You don't want to mix weed with a cigar. Has its continuity. You don't take a cigar like this and mix it with weed. You could mix it. You could smoke your own joint with it, but we don't break. You can buy your own Philly. We don't make blunts out of high quality cigars. Fat Five Freddy and me, we like Partaga cigars. We like cigars, whole leaf, whole fillers, nothing chopped. That's why it smokes the way it does. The weed, don't worry about don't mix the weed. You can have the weed on the side and afterwards. You know what I mean? Do you think that would enhance a cigar, though? I don't know what he's talking about. What would enhance a cigar? No, I like keeping things natural in their respective states. No additives, no fillers, no bullshit. That's why on my channel, as well, not just on the sip and smoke, but just in general. Yes, I would say yes. Okay, wait. I have to check myself. Uh, my channel, if you look at the history, if you go back, I think it is uh, goes back to the standard quality of the research that I do and the quality of my content. Live is a lot different. I don't mind this live. This is all like more of me just smoking and chilling with you guys. This is like different. So Jag Attack, man, don't mix it with weed. You could buy some weed on the side. You can still smoke your bowl. It will change the flavor of a cigar a little bit, But with a cigar like this, I don't think that it would. This is such a good cigar that you can't over dominate. You can't like fuck it up. It's such a good quality. It's a little burning a little wrong now because of my own fault, but it's so well made, such good quality that you can't fuck it up. Unless you're like Joey over here, you throw water into wine, that fucks it up. That fucks it up. When you throw water into wine, you're fucking it up, right? You dip this into wine, it's fucking it up. You dip the cigar into brandy, it fucks it up. It changes it. It chemically changes it, and you're not smoking the same thing. Oh my god, excellent cigar, right? So like it's okay to mix, but don't take your naturally made, like this thing took so long, guys. Took so long to get to us, right? To add something to it. It took so long naturally to get to us. To add something to it is disrespectful to it, right? Do you use a fine French wine in sangria, right? You don't do that, right? Like you're not going to take like a French Bordeaux or very good French Bordeaux and put that into your sangria, right? Or certain wines you can make sangria. You make the cheap wine as sangria, right? If you're gonna mix some fruit in it, just like cheap vodka. If you're gonna mix your vodka, right, you don't need to buy the highest caliber vodka to make your vodka drink if you're gonna put fruit in it and all this other shit. It reminds me of the day we used to like put, when I was younger, we used to buy the cheapest alcohol possible. We put it literally in a barrel with fruit and wine, and we just threw it all in there. And people would just literally dip their cups in it. Gross, but the objective wasn't, it was sweet flavor and fruit, but it wasn't to be a connoisseur of it. I'm older now, but and if I were younger, I still was that way. In fact, I was still a purist. I would still not augment or change what we're doing. Oh yeah, Jack Attack. I don't know what you guys drank. I could expose myself of what I drank when I was younger. Some of the stuff's still on the market, but even now with beer, the age of our cheap beer. I don't know what Jack Attack, what you have there in England, and I'm certain some of your cheap beer is good because I live in Canada where cheap beer is good. Mexico cheap beer is good too. Like I still love Pacifico in a brown bottle. Yeah. No Island's on. He's here. He knows about it. That plastic bottle vodka. That's the shit you put in a mixer, right? But you're not going to do It's all, guys. Like, I'm able to survive, and cigars gives you a headache, Jojo. Everything gives you a headache. Jojo is like the best physical specimen guy that's just so weak. He's so soft. Like, so soft. Like, and then you don't have to go into the hard things, right? In order to give it. You don't have to smoke cigars, Joe. You don't have to smoke them. You don't want them, don't smoke them. Right? Yeah, my liver's still killing me. Yeah. Why at this age, Jack, I'm 52 years old. Why would I fucking fuck with the cheap shit anymore? You know? I don't fuck with that shit no more, man. Why do I have to have cheap cigars? Like if I'm gonna smoke, like right now I'm gonna sip and smoke. Why am I gonna smoke a black and mild unless it's a find, right? I could find like a $5 cigar that might smoke like this. Might. I doubt it. I'm not gonna find a $5 beer that drinks like this. No way. Like this beer, is like basically 5 6 packs here. You know, I could buy a case of beer. I could buy 30 beers for the 4 beers that I bought. I'd rather drink these 4 with the cigar, enjoy it with you, you know, and it's just so much better. It's so much more enjoyable. Like Joey, he wants his shrimp cooked. He wants to grab shrimp, which is fine. He wants to grab his fresh shrimp, his fresh fish that was recently killed, and he wants to cook it, which is okay. I don't mind that at all. Like if you need your fish cooked, okay, but there's a certain, like I've been in restaurants. Like, do you want your Japanese Wagyu beef or tapenade? You want that well done? Joey likes his shit well done. He wants to put ketchup on his steak. We don't do that. Like that's just, why would you ruin the point of the growth and the product, right? Who puts, like, you have $100 steak and you're putting ketchup on it. You're putting anything on it. Yeah, Joey puts ketchup on his steak. He likes the ketchup on it. Not A1 sauce, which is bad enough. We're almost there, guys. You know where I still like ketchup? I like ketchup in the morning on my eggs and potatoes. I'll put a little on it. I prefer salsa, but I will have ketchup there too sometimes. Sometimes ketchup and salsa, right? But here you go. Noah, am I going to put ketchup on my Eggs Benedict? Who puts ketchup on their Eggs Benedict? I've seen it done. You order Eggs Benedict and you put ketchup on the shit. What's the point of that? Like, what's the point of that? Yeah, Jack. Yes, hot sauce. I get that. I get that. Even the hollandaise. That is one thing. Noah's right there. I will put hot sauce a little bit on my hollandaise. You know, I had the other day, I had some Vietnamese pho, and the mistake I make, not a mistake, I just prefer it that way. I put a lot of sriracha into my pho soup, right? And so it changes the broth, but I don't mind that. I like sour cream in my eggs too. Love sour cream in my eggs. Yeah, sriracha is awesome. Put sriracha on a lot of things. But my whole point is, like, especially, well, food is different, but with cigars and beer and alcohol, you don't want to change the character of what it is that you're buying. This cigar is intended to be smoked this way. Down to every part of it is designed to be natural. They put it in all natural environments. It like a wine. They make it a certain way, just like this beer. Like you want to put vodka in this beer? You want to put tequila in here? No. Guys, taste and distinction. And I get it. We're not all, one thing I'm going to tell you guys, even Jack, Noah, everybody that's still here, the ability to have taste and distinction is not it's learned. It's not an innate thing, but it's a good thing to have. It's a good thing to say, hey, I don't like this. I don't want this. Right? Don't be a typical person. Oh, these fries aren't freshly cooked. Well, I want my burger, it doesn't matter how it somewhat does. But I was saying chase shots of beer. I do that all the time, but don't change the character of something that you paid for to be a certain way. I paid for this cigar to be this way, and this is still a 9.5 cigar. I haven't changed it. I didn't dip it in anything. Like right now, some guys will dip it on brandy or wine. Just drink the wine. Drink the brandy. Don't augment the character of the product that you paid for. Right? Unless it's a cheap shit. Joey's saying that, all right, I'm going to try to smoke a little more of this because this is a damn good cigar. Cough syrup and 7-Up. You guys are killing me tonight. Joe, you have Jack Attack in the house, man. Jack Attack knows his MMA. Oh, it burned a little uneven. We're almost finished here. Yeah. This is how you know I used to smoke weed. You smoke these things like a roach. Big old roach. Well, guys, yeah. Morales round 1. Summersburger, Pantoja. That's a nice ass pick. Thanks, Jack. That's a nice. Hey, Jojo, you see that? Now that's a nice Hail Mary, Jack. Plus 11.9. You know? Pantoja's taking that, Joey. He's getting a little cocky, but he deserves it. Like, he beat these other people. Didn't he beat Kai Kara France, didn't he? Got that started again. Yeah, guys. It's late. Thank you for guys joining me. You guys are about betters. You're also special people. Mm. 9.5. Down to the nub. Not super hot. Still very good. Not spicy. Good ass cigar. Joey, Lewis is dangerous any round. Any round, Lewis is dangerous. Lewis could knock him out any round. I have a small flyer, but if that number keeps going up against him, tomorrow I'm going to throw another at least 20, 30 bucks on him. You know? Pantoja, though, I just hope he's ready. I mean, man, some of these Brazilian guys of late, you know, it's hard. Yeah, this is a very good cigar. Like, look how nubby it is. Look where we're at. And it's still like a good smoke. Sommelsberger. I don't know, Jojo. Sommelsberger. Moreno's a tough little motherfucker. I would avoid that fight. Tell me with 1K on Kim. Jack in Texas is only concerned about Pantoja. Is it hitting his mid-30s? And that's what he describes as a baseline? Yeah. Well, man, this cigar. I don't want this cigar to end. Cigar is so good. I'm gonna increase this cigar to a 9.7. I'm gonna give this cigar a 9.7, guys. This is getting one of my best reviews that I can give. I doubt we find something as good as this cigar. Yeah. Hey, guys. Anything that goes to decision in Texas is questionable. Texas has the worst commission that there is. The worst. I have no idea what these people see. Right? They're not even about boxers. It's I would hate any of my fights to go to decision, which like Nicaragua and this guy hope it's a finish. Joey says he's eating Gene and Jude's. Damn, I wish I had some Gene and Jude's. Guys, when you come to Chicago, outside of Chicago, there's a place called Gene and Jude's. They make these hot dogs. Best you could find. Like, they're the best hot dogs in Chicago, probably in the country. But, yeah, if any fight goes to decision in this card, don't be surprised that the person that you think won the fight is going to lose the fight. Because It's Texas. Texas has like Texas, Arizona, all these southern states have some very questionable commissions. Nevada Athletic State Commissions is horrible, but man, Texas judging, no, you don't want Texas judging. You don't want your bet to be resting on Texas. All right, guys. Well, the cigar is done. The beer is about to be done. I had to let the cigar go. Had to let it go. Man, that's a good cigar. Good beers. Good times. Joey showed up late. It's all right. You know, I'm glad that you guys participated. Glad that you guys showed up. But and if you made it this far, you are about better. I'm gonna drop off. Good luck tomorrow and all the things that you do. Have a good day. Hopefully all your bets are going to be awesome. But thank you guys so much for joining me here. And as always, if you've made it this far, you are about better.